Willow here on this full moon. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Today I wanted to answer some questions again, but mainly it's because people were asking me, what can we do on the full moon? What kind of things will happen the best during this time? So I like to remind everybody that yes, the full moon is the time of releasing things. You need to release old, worn out thoughts, habits. Maybe you need to do a ritual to release an old relationship out of your heart and soul. There are lots of things of releasing and banishing that you can do at this time. But that's not the only thing that the full moon is good for. The full moon affects mind, body, and spirit. So let's take a look first at some scientific facts. The moon affects the earth and it affects us. And it's interesting fact that both the earth and our bodies are around 70% water. Well, it affects the tides. The full moon is going to make your tides higher. So it's like it affects us, it affects the earth. We are all one with the earth. We just keep forgetting that sometimes. So that's important to remember. How it affects the earth is how it affects us. So think about how the animals are acting. We have that lunacy during the full moon. My cats are going crazy. They started last night. They're already feeling it. Now the full moon energy is for 3 days. It's not just one day. So the full moon starts today. It is at its peak around 8:30 tomorrow morning, and it will end 24 hours later on Tuesday. So you've got 3 days of energy, and you could probably even work with it on Tuesday night. But you've got this 3 days of full moon energy to work with. So besides releasing things, you can also bring some stuff in. If you work with manifesting, you could start today and work with something like at night tonight. You could manifest something that you really, really need and put a lot of energy into it. You may do some sort of a ritual to attract something before the moon starts to shrink. When it's at its peak is the most powerful time. But we also can release things during this time. So you just got to work with the timing on the full moon, okay? Now, one of the other things that I love to do is charge my crystals. So I'm going to be taking these two beauties outside and putting them in my garden tonight, letting them sit out under the full moon to soak up some great energy. And I'm going to let them stay out there probably for a couple of nights. Let them get a lot of that energy of the full moon. It's going to clear them. It's going to recharge them. So you may take your stones and crystals. You can put them in a windowsill if you don't have a garden, but outside under the moonlight is the best. But yeah, just put them in the windowsill. Even if your window isn't facing the moon, if it can get to look outside, that energy is still there. It's like the sun being up. You still see its light outside, right? Well, the full moon still illuminates all around us. It's still darker, but it's still there. So you can use a windowsill even if it's not in your direct moonlight. Now the other thing you could do is go outside and sit under the full moon and re-energize yourself. Pull mama's energy into you. I call her mama because that's my moon goddess. And let her pull, just fill you with that energy so you can go out and recharge yourself during a full moon. That's great energy to have. It's very cleansing and it's very calming energy. Now, the other thing that I find is really important is the fact that divination is so amazing during this time. I can do readings during a full moon and I get the same response. That was so spot on. Oh my God, that was so clear. And I get that a lot during the full moon and the new moon. So I love doing my readings during the new moon and the full moon. So I'm going to be going out and doing that tonight. So there's so many things you can do. Now they've also said, and I always try not to do this, I try not to travel on a full moon. And some people go, oh, it's an old wives' tale. Oh, it's superstition. The fact is, you bleed more if you get cut or injured on a full moon. Why? Because our bodies have so much water in it that the moon is affecting us. It's affecting the tides on the earth. Both our bodies and the earth are around 70% water, 71% water. So guess what, guys? It's going to affect us. It could make us bleed more. Why are there more people in the emergency room during the full moon? That's the other issue. Sometimes you bleed more, so you have to go to the emergency room. They also show that there's a lot more crimes, and so the police are a lot busier on the full moons. I know watching people out in Jackson Square when I'm sitting out there to do readings, I see more arguments. I see a lot of stupid activity, even more than normal, during the full moon. I just chalk it off to being, yeah, well, it's a full moon, bunch of lunatics out today. But that's what we're seeing here with this full moon energy. So I wanted to do a little bit something here. I'm going to do a reading for you in a moment. I'm going to use the Syrian Starseed Tarot today, but I'm just going to pull 3 cards. I just want to see what her message might be for us on this full moon. The other thing, before I forget, the other thing that I want to remind you of is something you can do with stones and crystals. And it's to charge spring water. If you charge your water with your crystals in it under the moonlight, you could use that water in any kind of cleansing ritual on the full moon, or you could save it and use it to bring something in on the new moon. Maybe you want to plant seeds. You want to charge your water with a crystal, like a quartz crystal, and have super energized water that you could plant an actual seed with and make that a ritual kind of thing. So you got to prepare. So this is a great time to prepare. You can prepare water, you can prepare your stones and crystals, and prepare yourself. So I just wanted to make sure I remember to tell you that as well. So right now I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the cards. We're going to just see what she has for us today. But just 3 cards just to see what it is she wants us to know on this full moon. It's a very strong energy right now, and so let's see. You may be having a lot of vivid dreams too. I've been having lots of crazy dreams last night. Probably will have them for the next couple of nights. It happens to me around the new moon as well. But that's because we're more open to the energies, and so we can receive a lot more messages that way. Okay, let's see what she has for us. Divine Source, Divine Mother, all it is. We ask for your guidance. We ask for a message for today on the full moon energy, what you would have us to know so that it can enhance our spiritual path and our awakening. Thank you, Mother. Blessed be. Okay, so the first one that we have here is the 6 of Chalices, and that is about soulmate connections, connecting with loved ones, feeling that wonderful loving energy. And that is important because we need to reach out and send out love to the world. Our world's going through a lot of chaos, and so it could use some love energy for the animals, for the planet itself, and for the people on it. So the 6 of Chalices. And it's all about emotion, guys, because we also have the Adept of Chalices and the Master of Chalices. And what a wonderful thing. What does Chalices represent? Water. Water energies. What is the moon affecting? The water energies, right? So this is great. So let's go to the Adept. The Adept says we are getting more of a handle on that love energy, that emotional energy, and we are going in the right direction. We're being able to focus it, direct it, and use it more. And the Master. And this says that we rule over our own emotions. So if we're ruling over our own emotions, that doesn't mean that we hold things back. It means that we are able to share our emotions with other people without harshness. With more compassion and more love, we're able to use our emotions for the positive. So this is all about love and emotion right now, and that is what the full moon does for us. It brings us to loving more people, knowing how to love ourselves and others, and helps us to be more compassionate and loving beings. And that's her message for us on the full moon. What a blessing. So I'm glad we did that. So the other thing that you have to remember, I like to work in my garden, and I've been harvesting things. And over the last couple of days, things have been getting ripe. So that's kind of cool because it's kind of early in the season, but I have a lot of tomato plants. So, and I planted some seeds a few days ago. I know it wasn't on the new moon, but I did plant a slice of tomato and a few other cherry tomatoes that I cut in half, and I planted them in dirt. It's very simple. But today I went out and all the seeds have sprouted on the full moon. Who would have thought? So I guess it was good because the energy was still building and building and building to help those seeds grow. But that's it, guys. On the next new moon, it is time to plant your seeds so you can use the power of the full moon to bring it to manifestation. So I hope you have planted your seeds and that you're reaping your harvest right now on this full moon and loving the energies. So don't forget, around 8:30 tomorrow morning is the full moon at its peak. I think we're in Sagittarius right now, of the moon. So it is a good, strong time to make things happen. A lot of positive, fiery energy to get things done. Get rid of things you don't need. Start to be ready to bring the stuff in that you do want. And that is what I have for you today. And I hope it's answered some of your questions. So you can charge your crystals, create crystal charged water, charge yourself, get rid of things, manifest at the last moments here before we go into that full moon power energy in the morning, tomorrow morning. But use the divination, pay attention, channel your guides, ask them for direction right now. It is a very powerful time. So just utilize this full moon energy. It is very important. And somebody asked me, it's a strawberry moon. Tell me about strawberries. Well, let me tell you, I love strawberries. So maybe next year I'll grow strawberries. That's one of the things that is going to be my goals of growing something next year would be strawberries. But it is a strawberry moon, and that means that it's the first time to harvest. It's a planting moon and a harvesting moon. It's a real good moon for strawberries. And June is the month for strawberries, so it's great. Anyway, didn't want to get off track, but I wanted to answer everybody's question about the full moon. So I hope if you need a private reading, a personal reading, contact me through my website, willowleigh-machant.com. I'm always available. Just contact me. I take calls. You'll see my cell number. I'll take a call or a text from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. If I'm not available, if I'm in a reading, I can't answer. So just remember, texting is the best way. But also contact me through my email, willowleigh-machant@yahoo.com. Check out my website, willowleigh-machant.com. Follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. And all those links are going to be down below in the video description. I hope this has helped some of you, and I hope you have a wonderful full moon. And until next time, be blessed.